All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the future of transportation loyalty programs. We've got this super interesting article titled Unveiling the Future. What's next in transportation loyalty programs?
Hmm.
And it's not just talking about those, the basic points and miles. It's like way more than that. Like, remember those days when you'd like save up all your airline miles for like a slightly cheaper flight?
Yeah. Hmm?
Yeah, well, apparently the younger generation's kind of like changing the whole game.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a total shift, you
Yeah.
know. We're not just rewarding spending anymore. It's more about like fostering actual engagement and loyalty. You know those old revenue-based models where like your rewards were directly tied to how much you spent?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to feel a little outdated.
Yeah, kind of like these programs were like basically for the people dropping like tons of cash on first class tickets,
Right.
leaving us budget travelers like in the dust. Is that kind of like why those models are like becoming obsolete?
Oh yeah, definitely a factor.
Yeah.
Especially with like Gen Z and millennials,
Hmm.
They're all about experiences and sustainability and social impact. They want their loyalty to be like acknowledged and rewarded in ways that align with their values.
Hmm.
Transportation companies are starting to realize that like just offering discounts isn't enough anymore. It's not going to capture their attention, let alone their loyalty.
Yeah, totally. And the article talks about how younger travelers are like looking for rewards beyond just travel discounts. They want access to like unique experiences, local cultural events, even like opportunities to contribute to causes they care about.
Exactly. And that's like driving some major changes in how these loyalty programs are structured. The article points to four key trends that are like reshaping the landscape: personalization, experience-based rewards, gamification, and sustainability.
Okay, cool. Let's break those down. Personalization seems like a no-brainer, like in today's world. It's all about like using data to tailor programs to individual preferences, right? But how are transportation companies actually doing that? Like, how are they achieving this level of personalization?
They're using like data analytics and AI to create programs that cater to like individual travel patterns and preferences, even interests outside of travel. Imagine receiving like curated recommendations for destinations you hadn't even considered, or getting personalized offers for activities that like perfectly match your interests.
Yeah, that's a far cry from those generic email blasts with deals that are like totally irrelevant to your travel style.
Yeah.
But what about people who are like a little wary of sharing their data? Is there a risk that personalization could like cross the line and feel intrusive?
Oh, for sure, that's a valid concern. Transparency and control are key. The best loyalty programs will prioritize clear communication about data usage, and they'll give users the ability to manage their privacy settings. It's about finding that balance between personalization and respecting boundaries.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk about experience-based rewards. The article mentions that younger generations are more into experiences than material possessions. So how are transportation companies incorporating that into their loyalty programs? Are we talking more than just free upgrades or lounge access?
Think like VIP access to exclusive events, curated tours led by local experts, even opportunities to like participate in conservation efforts or community projects at your destination. It's about making memories and having a deeper connection with the places you travel to.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. It's way more rewarding than just racking up points for discounts. But how do they even measure the value of those experiences? Are we like ditching traditional point systems altogether?
Not necessarily. Points can still be useful, but they're not the only focus anymore. Companies are getting creative with how you can earn and redeem points. Imagine earning points for like attending a cultural event or going on a city walking tour, or even for choosing sustainable travel options. And when you redeem them, it's more about unlocking unique experiences rather than just offsetting travel costs.
So it's less about like hoarding points for no reason and more about using them to access a world of curated experiences. That's a cool shift. Okay, now what about gamification? I've seen some airlines using like challenges and leaderboards. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, gamification is all about making the whole loyalty experience more engaging and interactive. Like those addictive mobile games that you can't put down. They tap into that like natural desire for achievement and competition and connection. Transportation companies are like incorporating those same principles into their programs.
So instead of just passively collecting points, I might be challenged to like visit a certain number of destinations or compete with other members for a special reward.
Exactly. And it's not just about competition either. Gamification can also encourage collaboration. Like imagine teaming up with other travelers to complete a virtual journey or unlock a destination-specific badge.
That does seem kind of fun.
Yeah,
But how do they make sure gamification feels authentic and not just like a sneaky marketing ploy? It's a fine line, right?
totally. The key is to align those game mechanics with the goals of the loyalty program. and with the values of the people they're targeting. The challenges and rewards should feel relevant and meaningful, not just random or gimmicky.
Yeah, finding that sweet spot is important. Okay, last trend, sustainability. This is a big one for a lot of travelers these days. So, how are transportation companies weaving sustainability into their loyalty programs? Is it more than just offering carbon offsets?
Way more. Sustainability is like a core element now, not just an afterthought. Companies are incentivizing eco-friendly travel choices, like offering bonus points for booking electric vehicles, or choosing train travel over flights, or even using public transportation within a city.
That's a great way to encourage people to make more conscious choices. But what about the companies themselves? Are they actually doing anything to reduce their own environmental impact? Actions speak louder than words, right?
For sure. Lots of companies are setting ambitious sustainability goals. They're investing in renewable energy and exploring alternative fuels. They're realizing that being truly committed to sustainability is good for the planet, and it's crucial for attracting and retaining environmentally conscious travelers.
It sounds like sustainability is like a core value that's shaping the whole travel industry, including loyalty programs.
Exactly. And it's not just about the environment. Social responsibility is also becoming more important. Companies are using their platforms to support local communities, promote cultural exchange, and advocate for ethical travel practices.
So, loyalty programs are becoming way more than just a way to get discounts. They're a reflection of a company's values and a way to connect with travelers on a deeper level.
Exactly. And to illustrate this shift, the article takes a deep dive into one company that's really pushing the boundaries. Pobuka.
Pobuka. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. Tell me more.
So they've developed this thing called the Pobuka Experience Cloud. And it's really changing the traditional loyalty model. They're moving away from that revenue-centric approach and focusing on the actual travel experience.
Okay, that's interesting. So, how do they measure loyalty if it's not based on how much you spend?
Instead of basing miles just on ticket price, they calculate them based on distance traveled and class of service. So even if you're flying economy, you're still earning miles that reflect the actual journey you've taken.
That's way fairer than the old model. It recognizes that frequent travelers who maybe don't always go for the most expensive tickets are still valuable. But are they still using the traditional tiered system?
Well, they've kind of revamped it so that even when you use your miles, you don't lose your tier status. This encourages members to actually use their rewards without the fear of dropping down a level. It's more rewarding and less like punishing.
That's a big change. It makes it feel less like a transaction and more like a real partnership. But how are they personalizing these experiences? The article mentioned that Pabuka is using AI.
Yeah, Pabook is using AI to analyze customer data and personalize every aspect of the loyalty experience. They can tailor recommendations, offers, and even communication based on individual preferences and travel patterns.
That's impressive. So it's more than just suggesting flights and hotels. Are they using any of those gamification elements we talked about earlier?
Oh, absolutely. Pabuka has incorporated interactive challenges, leaderboards, and virtual badges to make it more engaging and fun. They've even got elements of social sharing, so members can connect with each other and share their travel experiences.
Wow, Pabuka is really pushing the limits when it comes to loyalty programs. Are other companies doing similar things? Or is Pabuka kind of an outlier?
I mean, they're definitely a pioneer in this space, but they're not alone. We're seeing other companies starting to experiment with these trends, but maybe not as quickly. The success of Pabuka's model is a good sign that the future of loyalty is in personalization and experience-based rewards, and a real commitment to shared values.
So we were talking about Pabuka and how they're using AI to really personalize those loyalty experiences. It's more than just suggesting a hotel in your usual price range, right?
Oh yeah, way more. Think about when you're scrolling through all those hotel options online and you're totally overwhelmed. Pabuka's AI goes way beyond that basic filtering. It analyzes your past trips, the activities you booked, even the reviews you've left. It's trying to understand the little things about your travel style.
So it's like having a travel buddy who knows you better than you know yourself, suggesting stuff you might never have thought of but would totally love.
Exactly. And this predictive thing goes beyond just the planning stages. Imagine you're in a new city and your phone buzzes. Pabuka's AI has noticed it's suddenly pouring rain, and it suggests an indoor market you might enjoy based on your interests. And it takes into account your location and how much time you have.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But that level of personalization needs a lot of data. Some people might not be comfortable sharing that much info. How does Pabuka deal with those concerns?
Transparency and user control are super important to them. Pabuka gives you all the details about how they collect and use data. and you can opt out of certain features or change your privacy settings. They get that trust is like the foundation for a truly personalized experience.
Sounds like they're taking data privacy seriously, which is good. Are there other companies using AI in cool ways for their loyalty programs?
Definitely. Some airlines are using AI to personalize in-flight entertainment. You get recommendations based on what you've watched before. They can even predict what language you want subtitles in. Imagine never having to scroll through endless movie options again.
Oh man, that would be amazing. It seems like there's so much potential for AI in loyalty programs.
Yeah, we're just getting started, really. But let's move on to another big trend, gamification. We talked about it a bit earlier, but I want to dig a little deeper into how companies are using it to keep people engaged.
Yeah, let's unpack that. You mentioned airlines with challenges and leaderboards. Are there other examples of gamification done well in the transportation industry?
There are. Some train companies have interactive maps in their apps. Passengers can, check in at different stations or landmarks along their route, and they earn points or unlock badges. It makes even a boring commute kind of fun.
That's clever, but if they focus too much on gamification, doesn't it risk feeling kind of gimmicky? Or even like they're trying to manipulate you?
You can, yeah. That's why they have to be smart about it. The best gamification strategies are about making the travel experience better, not just about getting you to collect points. The rewards should feel worthwhile and relevant to the traveler's interests.
So instead of just rewarding me for taking a certain number of trips, it's more about challenges that encourage me to explore new places, or try different ways of traveling, or even engage with the local culture.
Exactly. It's about making the journey itself rewarding, not just the destination. And good gamification can even build a sense of community among travelers, give them a chance to connect and share their experiences.
Sounds like gamification, when done right, can add a lot of fun to the whole travel experience.
For sure. And it's not all about points and rewards either. Gamification can also teach travelers about sustainable practices, or promote local businesses, or even support social causes.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like a challenge that encourages me to choose eco-friendly transportation,
Right.
or a badge I can earn for supporting a local charity at my destination.
Exactly. Gamification can be a powerful tool for making a positive impact.
Okay, so we've talked about personalization and gamification. Let's talk about sustainability. We touched on it earlier, but I'd love to hear more about how companies are including those values in their loyalty programs, beyond just the carbon offsets thing,
Yeah, sustainability is not just a trend anymore. It's a core value that's influencing everything about travel.
including loyalty programs.
Right. We're seeing companies partner with eco-conscious brands. They're offering rewards that promote sustainable travel choices, and some even let you donate points to environmental causes.
So it's not just about like doing the bare minimum. It's about creating programs that show they're really committed to sustainability.
Exactly. And it's not just about the environment either. Social responsibility is playing a bigger role too. We're seeing programs that promote cultural exchange, support local communities, and advocate for ethical travel practices.
That's great. So for example, I could use my points to stay at a locally owned eco lodge,
Hmm.
or take part in a cultural exchange program, or even donate points to a conservation effort at my destination.
Exactly. The focus is shifting toward experiences that benefit everyone, not just the traveler, but also the places they visit and the planet as a whole.
So loyalty programs are kind of becoming a way to encourage positive change.
You are. And this is happening because more and more travelers want their trips to align with their values. They're looking for companies that are just as committed to sustainability and social responsibility.
Now, earlier we talked about Pobuka being a leader in personalization, experience-based rewards, and gamification. Are they also on board with this sustainability as social impact thing?
Oh yeah, totally. Pabuka has made sustainability a key part of their program. They give you bonus points for choosing eco-friendly options. They partner with sustainable brands. And they even let members offset their carbon emissions through verified projects.
Okay, so they're doing all the right things in terms of those key trends we talked about. Is Pabuka setting an example for other companies to follow? Or are they still kind of unique?
I'd say they're a pioneer for sure. But we are seeing other companies trying similar things. Maybe not as quickly, though. Pabuka's success shows that travelers are open to these changes, and companies that don't adapt might get left behind.
So while Pabuka might be ahead of the game, it seems like the whole transportation industry is starting to realize that the future of loyalty is about more than just points and discounts. It's about creating experiences that are personalized and engaging, and that also reflect the values of their travelers.
Exactly. And as these trends keep developing, the line between loyalty programs and the overall travel experience is getting blurrier.
Okay, now I'm really curious. What do you mean by that? How are those lines blurring?
Okay, so we were talking about how the lines are getting kind of blurry between loyalty programs and the rest of the travel experience.
Right? Like imagine you're on like a long flight. And instead of just like zoning out in front of a screen, your loyalty program is actually connected to your like wearable tech. It tracks your steps when you're walking around, rewards you for choosing healthy food, and even offers like personalized meditation guides to help you de-stress so you get to your destination feeling good.
Wow, so it's not just about earning points for flights anymore. It's about like improving your well-being during the whole trip. That's a pretty cool approach.
Yeah, it's recognizing that travel is more than just getting from point A to point B. It's about the whole experience from planning to like the memories you make.
So loyalty programs are becoming more like travel buddies, helping us make good choices, stay entertained, and really connect with the places we visit. Exactly. And as technology keeps getting better, the possibilities are like endless. Imagine a loyalty program that's connected to your social media and suggests destinations based on where your friends have been, or helps you plan group trips.
It would make planning so much easier. No more like endless group chats trying to figure out flights and stuff.
Right. And imagine it syncing with local event calendars too. So it could recommend concerts or festivals or even pop-up markets based on your interests and where you are at that moment.
It'd be like having a personal concierge planning your trip in real time. But with all this talk about technology and personalization, we have to remember that not everyone is like a tech expert. How do we make sure these programs are easy to use for everyone?
That's a great point. The best programs will find that balance between like advanced technology and simple design. They'll give you different ways to use the program, whether it's an app, a website, or even talking to a real person.
So even if I don't like using wearable tech or connecting my social media, I can still use the main parts of the loyalty program.
Exactly. The goal is to make programs that work for everyone, no matter how they like to travel or how comfortable they are with technology.
Okay, so we've got personalized well-being, features social media integration, real-time event recommendations. What else do you see happening with transportation loyalty in the future?
One area that's really interesting is how we earn and use rewards. Like imagine a loyalty program that uses blockchain technology to create a system for tracking points and transactions that's super secure and transparent.
Blockchain. Isn't that the technology behind cryptocurrency? How would that work for loyalty programs?
It could totally change how we manage loyalty points. Imagine all your points are stored safely on this decentralized system, so there's no risk of fraud or losing them.
That would definitely make me feel more secure. Would it change how we use points too?
For sure. We might see a marketplace where you can trade loyalty points from different companies, or even use them like money to buy things beyond just travel.
So instead of just using points for one airline or hotel chain, I could use them to buy concert tickets or book a table at a restaurant or even shop online.
Exactly. It would make loyalty points way more useful and valuable.
Wow, that opens up a lot of possibilities. But it also raises some questions, like how would they make sure it's fair and that points don't lose their value?
Those are good questions. And they'll need to figure those things out as the technology develops. But there are so many potential benefits to a blockchain-based system. It could make things more transparent, secure, and fair for travelers.
It's amazing to think about how these new technologies could completely change loyalty programs.
It is. And as these things keep changing, it's really important for travelers to stay informed and choose programs that match their values and what they want out of travel.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into the future of transportation loyalty, what are the key things our listeners should remember?
The old way of doing loyalty programs is changing fast. Companies are realizing that loyalty isn't just about giving discounts. It's about creating experiences that really connect with people on a personal level.
And that means personalization and using things like gamification and showing that they're really committed to sustainability and social responsibility.
Exactly. And as technology keeps advancing, we'll see even more innovative and integrated loyalty programs that blend travel technology and lifestyle.
It's definitely an exciting time to be a traveler, with so many possibilities on the horizon.
It is. And remember, the future of loyalty isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create through the choices we make and what we expect.
So whether you travel all the time or just once in a while, the message is clear: stay curious, explore your options, and choose loyalty programs that reflect what's important to you and make your trips better. And that wraps up our deep dive into the future of transportation loyalty. Safe travel.